if you need to pitch your design to secure funding for manufacturing, there is nothing better than photorealistic rendering. If you run SOLIDWORKS Pro or Premium with subscription, then you already have access to SOLIDWORKS Visualize. Clicking Export to Visualize in 2021 will get you all the configuration data, and they are accessed from a simple drop-down menu. Applying appearances has always been a simple drag and drop from the appearance library. It's also super easy with part selection mode. Just use the simple click to select the desired part and then double click to select the desired appearance. I'd like to isolate down to the part of the assembly just so we can take a closer look at the appearances. This bracket housing is produced with a 3D printer, so I want to adjust the appearance to give it a more realistic look. Of course, I can match the color to the print, change some images about the surface, but what's really characteristic about a printed part is its texture. Displacement maps give us the ability to adjust this type of surface. We use grayscale images to tell SOLIDWORKS Visualize how much to offset the surface. Using displacement maps can really give impressive results and open up a ton of possibilities for surface finishes that I would just not want to have to model in the CAD environment. Here, I'm going to reuse a 3D print texture from a previous project and just remap into this part. It comes over a little coarse, but I can change the density to better represent the number of layers that I would see in a print of this size. I can also rotate these lines 45 degrees to better represent the mapping as it aligns to the real-world print process of the part. That looks pretty good. Let's include that part in the main assembly. Now what we can do is open up one of the sub-assemblies so that we can copy this appearance over to some of the others. Now I've already done this, and what we see here is the results of that effort. But I want to point out something else. We have the ability now to section view in SOLIDWORKS Visualize just like we can do in SOLIDWORKS. And so if you know how to do this in SOLIDWORKS, you can automatically do it over here in SOLIDWORKS Visualize. Picking up a cutting plane and direction, all you have to do is drag the triad around. And note that you can add section caps and control their colors individually as well. Now this section looks pretty good. Once I get it positioned just where I want it, you can actually create multiple sections at the same time. Flip their orientation, and it gives you the option to create different combinations that can later be bulk rendered into a single output with Visualize Professional. Speaking of Visualize Professional, let me show you a camera filter that I know you're going to be particularly interested in. It's called a Tune Camera Filter. The intention here is to give something of an artistic or conceptual sketch look to the design. You'll see that it does this right away, but there's a handful of presets that we could use in addition to just going to the cartoon environment. There's white on black, it looks pretty nice. I like to use the inverse of black on white, which looks particularly good with shading. And in fact, one of the best shooting types here is ambient occlusion. All of these are customizable, and you don't have to stick to just the presets, though they look pretty awesome right out of the box. Let's customize this some and add some blue coloring for the outlines. At this point, I'm capturing two views that I want to final render. You probably noticed that there's some real-time rendering going on in the viewport, but once I captured the few views, it comes time for final rendering outputs. Nothing beats the speed of Visualize hybrid rendering. It uses the CPU and GPU engines, plus, when coupled with the AI denoiser, it gives you a 10-fold increase in speed. Not to mention the convenience of choosing all rendering layers here in one output. So I don't need to set an individual one up for things like alpha, beauty, ambient occlusion. I can just get them all at once. These look great, and they're almost all out-of-the-box presets. We didn't even get to the network rendering with Visualize Boost, animations, or virtual reality, all of which are possible with Visualize Professional.